All right, guys, today we're gonna be putting on these Gatekeeper LED pod mounts right here. The cool thing is they're steerable, so they're gonna go right here on the knuckle. We're gonna take a punch. We've already traced it. We're gonna mark it, drill it out. We're gonna start with a little drill bit, whatever size this is, and then we're gonna work our way up to whatever size this is. It's worn off. So what it's gonna end up looking like is it'll look like this over here. They send you some bolts, some grade 8 bolts, some nylon nuts. They put a little bit of anti-seize on there so they don't get gauded up. That's what it's gonna look like. They attach to the knuckles. You're gonna be able to steer it. And then we're gonna hook all these. These are Aux Beam 3-inch driving lights. They come with a clear lens or the amber because we're gonna use them as fog. And I have this weird obsession with orange. We're gonna put the amber lenses in there. We're gonna hook up the Aux Beam switch that they sent us up to it. We'll kind of do a little review on how to wire it and everything. We don't have the power steering hooked up yet, so we'll probably put this on the jack, and then we'll show you how they're steerable, how they work out, and we'll also show you how to use that Aux Beam switch as well. So stay tuned, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know if there's anything you'd like to see. Thanks. All right, guys, today we have the Aux Beam 8-gang RGB switch panel. Of course, it comes with the handed in the instruction manual. Don't really need that. Semi-sealed box it comes with. It's got a nice aluminum backing, a little plastic cover it pops up. The cool thing about this switch panel is it has solid state relays, so there's no relays that can go bad really or anything. You have the bus bar right here, all your fuses. They even send you a few extra fuses. Power and grounds go here, and then the plug that goes to the switch goes here. The main reason I wanted to run this switch is if you're gonna run 8 things, and if you ever wired anything before, you know you're gonna have to run 16 wires, a ground and a positive for everything. So this eliminates that, keeps it nice and clean under the hood. This will be your wires go, so that's that. It comes with your battery cables, comes with a couple of different bracket options. Right here, of course, is the switch itself. Nice firm clicks on and off. Like I said, you can control it through the app. And then you do have nice aluminum housing all the way around it. They send you, I think it's a couple hundred different stickers where you can customize what all these switches say. And we'll get into that a little bit later on in the next couple videos we're doing in the Aux Beam series. So you got your switch panel right there. You have a newer truck with a fuse block under the hood, which of course everybody knows we don't. You can hook these into your accessory fuse, and then it'll only come on when the key's on. We'll figure out a way to wire it, and we'll show you how we did that in case you're doing the same thing on a little bit older vehicle. And then you have your harness wire right here. I asked them to send me the one with the extension, and they came through, so I have a little bit more wire than this. That way we can run it up into the headliner and put it right there on the overhead console. All your mounting screws and everything to mount this right here to the dash, and it's got some more aggressive coarse thread, just plain screws to mount this onto the dash. We're probably just gonna use some self-tappers. It's the easiest thing to do. And then of course, they send you this really nice 60 amp fuse. 60 amp circuit breaker right here. So overall, I would say the kit is worth it. I was honestly expecting this to be like some kind of cheap plastic screen thing based on the price compared to like the Switch Pros, but it is, I haven't seen the Switch Pros. But I would say it's comparable for the price. I was really happy with it. It's gonna look a lot cleaner than the old school rocker switches that I love that are in the Blazer. But I'm excited to get this in. If you got any questions about it, let me know. I'll be glad to answer them for you. If you got any opinions on where we should mount it in the truck, besides in the overhead console, let me know and we'll entertain it. Alright, so we have the Gatekeeper off-road knuckle mounts hooked up. They're steerable like we talked about. I went ahead and wired this outside the truck because this week I still got to go through and do all the wiring, clean everything up, make it start off the key switch instead of off the push button. You can see right here, we have the Aux Beam panel they sent us hooked up right here. You have your power wire, you run it to your 60 amp circuit breaker, then you go from your 60 amp breaker to the battery. This right here is the accessory wire. If you have a newer truck that uses ATC fuses, you can use this. And this little thing right here, you pull your accessory fuse out, click it in, and then you'll have your accessory fuse. And then this only works when the key's on. We're gonna wire this to some key on power, but for right now, we just hooked it to the battery. Then of course you have your ground from the panel. They supply you with alternate fuses for all these. So I know that's a 10 amp, but you can always go over here to the 5, pull it out and make it a 10. You got 30s, two 30s, two 20s, two 10s, and two 5s. This hooks up to the remote. This hooks up to that accessory wire like we just talked about. So then you have the switch. I'm working on figuring out how to use the app, but for right now, the backlight's gonna be green, and then it has a dimmable feature. So if you cover over the light, it'll dim the whole switch down to where it's basically nothing. You let off, it's brighter outside, it'll brighten it up. Obviously, we gotta go through and put the stickers on here when we figure out the final order we wanna have everything in. But if you hit on right here, it'll power up the thing. Right now I have it set on pulse mode, so it's 3 bursts. To get it off of pulse mode, you just double tap 3 times. And then all the switches will flash. The color codes what it actually does. So right there, now we just have it on solid. You double tap again. You can page through to where it's momentary. Cut the switch off, cut it back on. And then they'll just work. Basically, if you want to wire up a horn or anything that might not be all the way, all the time on, you can do it right there with that. Double tap again. You can change it to green, which is cool just because it's obnoxious. And then you can have your flashing lights. If you were off-road or on the side of the road trying to fix something, you can turn them on right like that. You can see we got those. These knuckle mounts are for a 2017 or newer. For 2017 or newer. I have it jacked up because we don't have the truck running right now, obviously. You'll hear the steer pump gurgle. But they're steerable, so wherever you turn the wheel, they're gonna go. I got the orange ones or the amber ones because I like the way they look. But obviously you can use the white lenses or whatever you want to use down here. They say they work for most 2-inch lights. This is a 3-inch light. I think the only reason they're working is because this is a dually, so the wheels are a little bit more offset than if it was a standard, but they're supposed to work for all offset wheels, and they work for these 3-inch Aux Beam lights. So I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. You can get those from Gatekeeper. I bought those. They didn't pay me to say anything, but they work pretty cool. Drilled it out, bolt them in, they send you all the hardware, and you're good to go. So I'm really happy with them. Of course, Aux Beam sent us the light switch and everything. It's working out pretty good. We're gonna build that console eventually, put it up top, and we're gonna have some under lights, some bed lights, all that sort of stuff like that. So you'll see that later on, but for now, that's all we've got. So far, this is the first time I've actually wired up the Aux Beam and used it. I'm really happy with it. It goes together pretty easily. If you're gonna combine 2 sets of lights like we did here, I would probably tin the wires or basically solder them so that they're easier to get into the little clamp down piece on the power side. But otherwise, pretty easy to use. Really happy with the way these turned out. So if you're looking for something like this, go ahead and get you one, get you some. Like I said, it probably took us an hour total to put both of them together. You just tap it with a punch, mark it, drill it, throw them on there, and you're good to go. Of course, we didn't wire it up neatly, so it'll take a little longer to wire it neatly, but overall, pretty cool. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.